Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome here in person or over the live stream. My name is Eve Seiler and I'm a researcher usually at the True North Health Foundation, but today it's going to be about raw vegan food. I'm a raw vegan, or I eat raw vegan since 5 years, and so usually raw vegan has a lot of oil. Usually if you go to a raw vegan restaurant, you will find lots of oil, but this is going to be salt, oil, sugar free. So today I was thinking we're making a rice bowl, or more like a sushi inspired flavored rice bowl. But instead of rice, I'm not going to cook anything. The only tool I have is a food processor, or it's also called a food chopper. It's a little bit different than a food processor. It just has the knives here, like in a glass bowl, and then the motor comes on top, but you can use your food processor to make rice. And what we're using instead of the rice, which I believe, it's just a food that we can't really eat in nature when we're in nature. I just focus on the really unprocessed foods that we can eat, like from nature. I don't have to process anything. I don't have to prepare my food. If I go on a trip, I'll just go to the grocery store or to farmers markets and buy really nice, high quality vegetables and fruits, and I'm just gonna eat it as it is. I can eat a cucumber like a banana, for example. I don't need to process anything. I can also just eat the red bell pepper and the avocado then after.
So you could eat cucumber similar to banana?
Yeah.
So you just
could.
cut off the end and start munching away.
Mm-hmm.
Are you 100% raw vegan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can eat anything. Like, we don't even have to prepare anything. We're already done, really.
I don't even like my
Okay, we'll
cucumbers
go home
without
now.
the peel.
Huh?
You know, I don't even like my cucumbers without the peel. The peel adds something,
Oh, okay.
you know?
Sometimes I find the peel a little bit tough, and sometimes also
Yes.
they wax it.
Oh yeah. No,
So sometimes I remove the peel, but if you go to the farmer's market and you have like these really good
Yes.
high quality cucumbers directly from the farm, you want to eat it as it is. But you can. We're done today, so we're gonna just eat it, right? No, and that's the point too. If you're too lazy one of these days and you don't want to prepare your food, you can just eat it as it is. And then actually you realize, you might think, yeah, but it's not that tasty, but you have to try it out. It's actually really tasty, just as it is. It's really enjoyable. When I travel, I really like eating simple. Anyway, but sometimes you want to have fun, and we can just prepare a rice bowl today, you know? So what I have is just vegetables. You can use any kind of vegetables, but for the rice we're using cauliflower. But if you use, for example, Romanesco, it looks like a cauliflower, but it's really
Green,
nicely
isn't it?
shaped.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
green on top. A
Yeah.
mixture of cauliflower and
Uh-huh.
broccoli.
Yeah, exactly. But you could also use that instead of cauliflower or the broccoli. Then it's just a little bit green, but this just gives a rice texture if you put it in your food processor. So we're just gonna start with the rice, and it's really quick. So I didn't pre-prepare anything much. So only the cauliflower is kind of cut in pieces. But you see how quick everything is to prepare it too.
And tell us again, what is that thing? It's not a food processor. It's a what?
They call it a food chopper. If you look at Amazon, also if you send me an email. eve.seiler@protonmail.com. I can send you some links about my kitchen tools and the food that I buy online. Usually I go to farmers markets, but I buy also lots of foods online, like these nori sheets, for example. We're just gonna, they call it a food chopper, but you can use your food processor really. And then you just chop it. And that's pretty much it. You have your rice. Have you ever done cauliflower rice? You can also buy it in the store, even in packages, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Never tried it.
You ever tried it?
Yes, I have.
It's very easy to make yourself, and then you have it fresh. Kind of looks like rice. It has the same texture.
You can't really get it without the salt in the store, can you?
Oh, really? They add salt?
But I've never, I mean, I only bought it once and I thought, oh, I can make it.
So, I guess you can't use, could you use the grain in there instead of the cauliflower? Or,
Grain?
you know, like sorghum or?
No, you have to cook that.
So rice has to be cooked.
Yeah, rice always has to be cooked, and that's what I'm saying. So this food you can eat as it is. It grows in nature, and I mean it's cultivated apparently, but it grows and you can eat it. The rice, you can't really eat it unless you sprout it maybe, but you have to cook it. It's not really food for us that grows like directly in nature. We have to process it to make it edible, and I don't really believe in that. I don't think we are supposed to eat anything that we need to process. I mean, we're not supposed to process our food. But, I mean, that's just a belief. It's kind of odd that nature has the food for every animal, but not for us. I mean, we have to process our food. It's kind of mean. Too much work. It's kind of a lot of rice. Maybe it's
Looks
too
like
much.
you're making enough for a class.
Who's water fasting here?
Everybody?
You get it all, I think.
Not me.
Well, you can smell it, I guess. Maybe. Yeah, you can also chop other things, like or you can chop it then a little bit finer. I want to mix it with the other ingredients too, so I'm gonna have too much rice. Maybe I'll put a little bit of the rice in here. Instead, it doesn't fit in the bowl. In case it doesn't fit in the bowl. Okay, we have our rice. Usually the cauliflower has a little bit of a cabbagey taste sometimes, and you can get rid of this cabbage taste by a little bit more acidity, like lime juice or lemon juice. I just have lime juice today. I'm gonna just use a spoon to juice it. The limes, they don't have any seeds, so you don't have to be careful with seeds with limes. But you can use a citrus juicer instead. No, I'm just gonna do this method here. Limes also are a little bit less acidic than lemon. So I'm gonna use at least 2, I think. And also the thing is, you probably notice that raw food just smells much more pleasant, especially when you're fasting maybe. Like the fresh foods. Sometimes cooked food, especially the fried food, sure, you're used to it, eating that, but for me, fried food really tastes too much. You're a little bit, if you come after a cleanse and your body is very light, you also just crave more lighter foods, I bet.
I would imagine if you tried eating fried food after a fast, you'd probably get sick.
Yeah, you get sick. Mm-hmm.
It would be unforgettable.
Probably.
Yeah, that's why the refeeding is sometimes more more dangerous than the plastic. Yeah, we can. I mean, I'm using now here 3 limes, but I think that it's not too much. Limes are a little bit less acidic; they have more flavor. Okay, we have our lime juice. And then we can add any kind of vegetables that we like. I was gonna add a little bit of chopped celery too. Celery is always good if you don't use any salt. Like 4 stalks of celery maybe. But it's really up to you what you add with your rice. And if you're too lazy to chop the red bell pepper, then you can also just add it in there. And then you can add also turmeric maybe and make it more yellow. It's really up to you. You can just add anything you like. With the raw food, nothing can really go wrong. I mean, you're not processing anything much. It will keep the flavor. And if you cook things, then you might have cooked it too long, or then it changes the whole flavor. But the raw food doesn't really change the flavor. Anything else here? No, I'm just gonna chop this too again. This food chopper, and it's a good way with the food chopper to eat a good amount of food in a shorter time because it's like pre-chewed for you. Yeah, if you're really careful, you can just chop also vegetables and without cutting them with your knife too much. And we can even do the same with the tomatoes a little bit, because these cherry tomatoes are a little bit hard to cut all of them, so let's see what happens here.
They just have fun and they don't really like to cut.
And they have a lot of, it's gonna turn into a little juice or sauce. But I mean, it's always like an experiment. Nothing really can go wrong. I'm not changing the flavors much if I don't cook anything. So it's really up to you what you're doing. And then we can add a cucumber. I'm gonna remove this peel here this time because it's a little bit tough. I'm gonna be finished in 5 minutes probably. It's not gonna be a long food demo.
But then you have to make dessert, yeah? You have to do
Dessert?
more
Oh,
dessert,
I'm
yeah.
not prepared for dessert. Well, I can bring some bananas and dates. That's what I eat sometimes as dessert. I just eat a banana and dates. Something like that, something sweet. Yeah, it's just really simple. I just show you how fast everything is. I mean, you can have it really, really fast and not prepare anything, just eat the food as it is. Or you make a little bit more effort, but it's still really fast. Oh, I forgot I was gonna put in ginger too. About this ginger. Yeah, for if you want to have it more sushi flavored, I would put cilantro in it or ginger. I don't have cilantro right now, but I have. Yeah, the bowls are always too small. That's always an issue with this kind of food because you're eating a little bit larger amounts. usually just for myself, only a portion.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Does
How
it-
much?
Hmm?
How much is that, you say, portion?
This is 2 quarts. 2
Yeah.
quarts.
She said she would eat that whole thing by herself.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it doesn't have a lot of calories, and then yeah, I should have put the ginger in the food processor too to chop it, but I didn't do it, so I'm just gonna peel the ginger and chop it with a knife. You can also peel the ginger a little bit more careful with a spoon. Seen that method? Yeah, the raw food, it mostly is water, really. It's 80% water usually, everything that you eat. So it's not a lot of calories, so hello. So you need to eat a little bit more. So one lady was asking me one time, if you eat that much, doesn't your stomach stretch out? So yeah, probably, but it's a good thing, and then I can eat more next time. So I don't restrict my amount of food. I think your stomach has to stretch out a little bit if you eat that way. It's not that you ate too much food, you just ate the
But
wrong
it
food.
also
If you're
begins the digestion process so much easier,
yeah.
right? And so it's not gonna sit there.
It doesn't take long until this food is digested and the water comes out. It's first you eat it and you have a lot of volume, but it'll reduce the volume very, very quickly because it's mostly water. Yeah, you can have ginger pieces, or you can also have if you don't like the fiber of the ginger, you can have like a little grater for the ginger. I think that's probably a better way too. Or you cut it really fine. But that's just the flavor that you like. Whatever flavor you like, whatever vegetables you want to put in. Really. And I have also these vegetables that are really nice. The sugar peas. I think I do need a bigger bowl here. Yeah, these you can eat raw. You don't have to steam them. Pretty much almost anything you can eat raw that tastes good to you. If it tastes good to you raw, then you can eat it raw. But of course you don't have to be like 100%, because this food already is really healing for you. If it's too hard for you, to be 100, so it's not good to be too strict and suffer. It's always good to increase your raw food, and then, well, I mean, I decided for myself that I don't like cooked food anymore. But if you still like cooked food and you feel good with it, there's no really a reason to be very restrictive or anything.
Do you use the dehydrator much to sort of concentrate flavours and give yourself sort of something different sometimes?
Yeah, I use the dehydrator, especially to store food, like drying tomatoes, something like that. But I also make crackers.
Do you flax? What kind of crackers do you like to make?
Yeah, I like. Recently, I made a cracker recipe with. That's what I really like. And it's really simple. I just put everything in a blender. So like, what is it? So sprouted lentils. The lentils that we have here also sprouted. Like I sprout about Hey, you did want to come over,
I
huh?
came for, I was like, I need the rest of it in person.
So the sprouted lentils, and like if you have them sprouted, it's about a quart of sprouted lentils, and then I soak 3/4 of a cup of flax seeds in water a little bit, so they're a little bit softer, and then I put this with the sprouted lentils in a food processor in a blender, high-speed blender, and I add a whole bunch of celery, as much as can fit in, until the blender is maximum filled. And then I add juice of 2 lemons, and that's about it. And then I just blend it all.
Yes.
I just blend it all, and then I pour it on the dehydrated sheets.
Yes.
And it's really, really crunchy crackers, and they are really high in protein if you care about protein. I mean, everything has protein. I don't care about protein too much. Protein is not good for the kidneys. Too much protein will weaken your organs, and so if your organs don't really work properly, then you also can't build muscle properly. I mean, that's what usually happens when you get older. You get the muscle waste. So
Yes.
it's because your organs are too overloaded with protein, and I think
How
so.
long are you dehydrating your crackers for?
Well,
Overnight, or is that too long?
no, overnight or like 5 hours, and then I flip it. At some point, I need to flip it on
Yes, 'cause
the
it's on the sheet.
on the grid, and so on the sheet, and then it's like 12 hours more maybe.
Okay.
It's up to you. Sometimes it's a little bit softer, which tastes good too, but it doesn't keep that well. So you want to have it crunchy, crispy, so until it's really dry. But you'll notice. So I have some. I would put cilantro in it, but I don't have any cilantro. Now I put parsley and some basil. But you can add any herbs, and herbs I think are really beneficial for you. They're like really powerful. They have so much more minerals and like vitamin K and iron. So I like to eat a lot of herbs. With the basil, you have to be careful with the stem; it's a little bit chewy. But usually the parsley, the stem, I remove a little bit, but not everything.
With your flax seeds, if you don't mind my asking, do you put in the water you soak them in? You do, right?
Mm-hmm. You probably don't necessarily have to do that. You could probably also just blend the flax seeds in, but I like to activate my food a little bit,
Yes.
the seeds especially. So some more flavor here. And then, of course, you can also chop some salad, some lettuce in there. I just don't have enough room here in this bowl, but
Need a bigger bowl.
maybe I need a bigger bowl. I should have brought the bigger bowl.
So other than the tomato, is there any sauce like stuff in
And not yet. No, there's no sauce. There's only lime juice.
it? Lime, okay, that's what I missed. I was like, I missed something.
Yeah, there's only the lime juice. Lime juice,
2 or 3 times.
or the acidity will take away the cabbage taste of that. You can try it like it is here now. But this I didn't add anything to this here. It's still a little bit of cabbage, but the acidity just takes away the cabbage flavor of the cauliflower. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, I didn't add any green onions. I don't eat a lot of onions or garlic, but green onions I sometimes do, and it fits really well with the kind of sushi kind of flavor.
Do you not eat a lot of onions for a reason, or you just don't like it?
It's too strong for me. I mean, I liked onions and garlic in the past. I always ate onions or garlic, but I feel like it's a little bit strong on me, and it's just too smelly. I like smelling. It also reduces my sense of smell. I don't smell as good anymore then, so So, but once in a while, it's just a little bit strong. If you eat it raw, everything, then I want to keep it a little bit lighter. I like ginger though and chili, hot chili pepper. But with this kind of flavor, it fits pretty well. I don't add a lot, but
What did you just chop up?
the green onions, the scallion.
So on your, I think you might mention this before, your recipes, do you have these anywhere?
Yeah, you can send me an email. Did you send me an email?
I haven't yet. I have your email saved on my phone, but I haven't sent it.
Yeah, send me an email and I'll send you some information and links. I need to work on another ebook maybe, but yeah. So as I said, you can chop in the lettuce, or you can also just eat it on a lettuce leaf
That's what I
like
would
that. Yeah, like a taco kind of thing. This doesn't have a lot of calories really, so it really does not have any calories. But to make it more high calorie and also a little bit more sushi flavor, I think maybe add this. I add this a little bit. I finish adding the cucumber first.
I'm sorry, I didn't see what you put in there. What is the sushi flavor?
I put so I first made a rice out of cauliflower.
Okay,
This is the and I'm still adding flavors. But for now I had ginger in there, so I add the cauliflower, celery, red bell pepper, cucumber.
So if you want more calories, you add like avocado or nuts. Because cucumbers don't have much in the way of calories.
No.
What kind of nuts would you add to that?
Any actually, you could add anything.
You don't eat very many raw nuts because they're not really raw, right?
I do eat some nuts and seeds when I'll get them usually from the farmer's market. The walnuts too, they're pretty raw, and the almonds. But you can add any seed and nuts, maybe like even pumpkin seeds. But I add avocado now,
That's what I was gonna say. That sounds like avocado.
so like avocado pieces. So anything, maybe you would put it in a sushi too. And then we also need the seaweed. Yeah, just chop the avocado in little pieces. Yeah, you can add one or two. Actually, if you share it with someone, maybe it's a little bit too much for me too. Next time I'm gonna bring a bigger bowl. Always to have a bowl that's too big than a bowl that's too small. Yeah, I have this bowl in 4 quarts, so it's double the size than this here. Which is, you want to have big bowls if you want to eat that like that. If you want to increase your raw food.
You have the time to eat it all day, because that's going to take a long time to eat.
To eat? Oh, that's right.
You have to make it a meditation.
Mm-hmm. And then I have these sushi, nori sushi sheets, which either you can just put it in like a wrap, just use them like a wrap. Oh my gosh, open.
Are they raw nori sheets?
Hmm?
Are they raw nori sheets?
You can roll them, yeah, you usually roll them
She
raw.
said raw.
Are they raw
Oh,
nori
raw.
sheets?
Um,
Most nori sheets are cooked, aren't they?
yeah, those are raw, so they're,
All vegan.
Oh,
yeah,
they
they're
are, yeah.
certified raw.
I can't
And
get
they're
them.
just dried, so and
Yeah.
also they're vegan because they're sometimes they have little things in there and they just mix it all up and dry it. But yeah, I make sure that they also have like a label that they're tested for radiation and they're raw, not roasted, and vegan, so that they don't have any other critters in there. Or also even said they're sourced. I don't know. Yeah. So you can roll it. You can also make like a quarter of a. Like you can eat it like that even, or you can just mix them in your food. Just chop it up. You don't have to be a sushi master to eat sushi, really. You can just use these nori sheets and just chop them up a little bit and put them in your salad, in your rice salad, and the flavor is kind of like sushi.
Yeah.
It's a little bit less stress. Okay, this bowl.
You really need a bigger bowl.
Well, we always have troubleshooting here too, so always take a big bowl.
You want me to get a bigger bowl from the kitchen?
I think it's fine for today.
Okay.
I think I added everything that I wanted, pretty much. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for. I mean, the preparation was fairly quick. I mean, I took my time. Kind of smells like sushi now. Does it?
Looks delicious.
It looks delicious.
It's very light. It has calories. You can, if you want to have more calories, if you're not satisfied with it, then add some more seeds, avocado. There are your the calories. You can add some more fiber, like lettuce. Lettuce is really good. I mean, I always eat a lot of greens. I think that's good for muscle, and you know, you need minerals. You need water. You need to support your organs that they properly work. You need to eat a lot of folate and B vitamins, which vegetables have a lot, so to support the metabolism of proteins and fat and everything. So that's actually important for muscles. If you're young and you exercise, and it doesn't matter what you eat really, you're gonna look good. But if you're getting
It'll
older,
catch up to you, yeah.
if you're getting older, then it will be harder because you didn't treat your organs right, and that's what this food does. So lots of fiber to cleanse you out. So
Do you have to drink much water in between meals, or do you find you get enough water in meals that you prepare? for
I do
yourself?
drink water as much as I like. Really, if I'm
Okay.
thirsty, I'm gonna drink water.
Regular water, or do you drink distilled?
Oh yeah, filtered water, spring water, filtered water, or distilled water. I drink, yeah. So some kind of clean water. I would prefer spring water, to be honest. Like natural spring water. Or filtered water, yeah.
Dr. McDougall, among others, thought that many of the healthiest people eat a lot of tubers.
Tubers?
Yeah, potatoes, sweet potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you eat those at all?
I don't really believe in that. I do eat raw sweet potatoes sometimes.
Mhm.
I eat carrots sometimes, not a lot. So I don't like to eat too many starchy foods, to be honest. I think the fruits have a lot of vitality and health, like all the vitamin C, and then the greens. I think the fruits and the greens and herbs, dark greens, or bitter greens even. I think I rather get everything from there. I just don't believe in processing foods. If I don't like it raw, I don't think I want to eat it when it's processed. So, but everyone goes their path, and at the end we're gonna find out what's right. I mean, you have to find out what's right for you. You can try this method, like the tubers, and then see how you feel. You can try this for a month and see how you feel. And it's really up to you.
You can spiralise sweet potatoes and carrots, and then
Yeah.
you can make a spaghetti and then make a nice raw sauce to go on.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
it's more palatable if you can spiralise it and it's easily.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
And
guess potatoes could be raw, I mean, you just have to chop them up, so. they're
the
not
potatoes,
hard.
you could eat them raw, but they're very starchy. I have this one recipe from Russia. They grate them and then they wash the starch away with water a little bit, and then they mix it with onions, ginger, garlic, lemon juice a lot, and they say that repels parasites if you eat it. The potatoes with the ginger and garlic and onion.
That sounds nice to be dehydrated. That would make a nice cracker. It sounds like.
Maybe, but still, it's still starchy.
Starchy, yeah.
So,
Why don't you like starches?
oh well, it's just it isn't that tasty to me. But I mean, sometimes I would eat it. Sometimes I do eat starches.
It's just a matter of taste more than.
Yeah, if you eat a raw potato, it's not really tasty. I mean, a cooked potato is really tasty, but a raw potato, it's up to you. If you like the taste, maybe. I don't think it's toxic. The toxins in potatoes is the solanine, and then and it's in the green part of the plant. So if the potatoes turn green, that's toxic. But it will also be toxic if you cook it. Really.
Should just cut out all the green part.
Yeah, all the green part, but this is also going to be toxic when you cook it. The solanine is still there.
So if the skin is green, or part of the skin is green on potato,
Yeah.
doesn't that render the inside toxic
Uh,
as well?
I'm not sure. I mean, you could cut the green part out away, I guess. But I definitely would cut the green part away. I would not just say, oh, I cook it anyway, and then, no, it will be toxic. Mm.
What's the dehydrator you use?
I have pretty much a no-name dehydrator. It's called, I don't even remember. I have a big stainless steel dehydrator. It's like industrial thing, kind of.
Where did you get that?
They had it on Amazon one day, but they don't have it anymore there. It's something with Q.
And what do you use the dehydrator for again?
I make sometimes crackers, and I also store food. Or I make like celery powder. I chop the celery and dry it, and then make my celery powder. You don't necessarily need a dehydrator. I don't like to eat a lot of dehydrated foods, but sometimes it's good for traveling if you go somewhere, or or people that are not used to raw food and they eat the crackers. But I'm pretty much used to raw food. I don't really need any crackers or anything. I rather like to eat the water content too. I think the water content in your food is really important. We are 70% water. So also the mussels are 70% water, so you need to have the hydration. And most of the protein gets recycled anyway. If your body properly functions, then you don't need that much protein. Yeah.
And so you're also emitting beans, which, I hear is an important part of the whole food plant-based
Mhm.
eating.
Um,
So you've been doing this for 5 years, and you're looking pretty good, so.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, more than pretty good, so.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
thank you.
So,
I do eat sometimes sprouted lentils or sprouted legumes. I don't eat sprouted beans; they're toxic. Yeah. but no, I don't miss beans and rice, you know. But yeah, I think everyone has to try it out, and it doesn't hurt you if you try it out for 2 weeks. You know, no diet is gonna damage you unless you do the whole carnivore raw meat diet. I think that's gonna hurt you maybe a little bit. But vegetables and fruits not gonna hurt you. Even if you lose a little bit of weight, but you can gain it.
How many times do you eat in a day?
I usually eat only 2 times a day. So usually I start with fruits, high calorie fruits, bananas, lots of fruit really. I mean, I eat a whole bowl of fruit like this. And even more if I want to. I mean, if I have fruit that's low in calories, then I might eating more like dates or anything I want, like fruit. I start with fruit, only fruit, no seeds, no grains. Just the fruit, and then later I will have a salad like this. Maybe I could eat the whole thing, or mostly. I could also share it, I guess, and then eat another fruit dessert.
What times of day do you eat? What time?
I try to keep it a little bit in a small window, so I like to eat in 6 hours.
Okay.
But it's not always perfect, so sometimes 8 hours, but I like to keep it a little bit smaller so I have some time to rest. This food is also really harsh on your teeth. I mean, I can just say it. It's not weakening your teeth from the inside, it actually strengthens your bones and from the inside, but the outside, like, it's very acidic. Everything is like really harsh and you have to chew it a lot. So it can be a little bit harsh on your enamel maybe. So I don't want to eat the whole day. I would just want to eat like in a small window, then brush my teeth and then have a rest, give my body a rest from digestion and food. And I'm not hungry when I go to bed, and I didn't eat since like 4 o'clock. I stopped eating at 4. When I eat, like, I start eating at 10 and then I stop eating at 4. I'm not hungry at night at all. I feel satisfied. I had enough food. So that's what you always want. If you don't have that, then next day you might consider, okay, maybe I have to eat a little bit more. If you're hungry at night and you have some cravings, maybe you need to eat a little bit more. And more calories, high calories, like sweet fruits or avocados. But the calories are either in sweet things, in fatty things, or in like protein, like the sprouted, like also nuts, yeah, they have fat and protein. But protein is not a good fuel source. You don't want to have too much protein and the body just burns it because it's not burning clean. Like the best fuel is actually the sugar, the simple sugars, and then starches, of course. Starches can also be an energy source. But starches get metabolized in your body as sugar, pretty much. So they will raise your blood sugar, and I'd rather have the simple fructose sugar from fruits with the fiber together. So I think that's the best fuel source, actually. And then I'll have some fats. You do need some fats, essential fats too. I like to also include the flax seeds and chia seeds are really good. To have the essential fats.
What sort of fruits do you eat with this? I mean, just usual stuff you get in the grocery store, bananas, berries.
Yeah, I like to go to the farmer's market. So there's mangoes, there's the watermelon or the other melons, the bananas like really ripe when they're getting these little spots, so they're sweet. What else I get? Really anything. Any kind of fruit, but they need to be ideally high quality and sweet and ripe, really good ripe.
This sounds very appealing. Are you aware of any journal articles or studies?
There's not much.
Reinforce the healthiness?
There's not much about raw food. A few maybe. No, not much. There's not a lot of people that are so strict, like 100% with their diet. So it's kind of hard to study that.
Yeah.
There's also no tribes that are 100% raw or 100% vegan. They might eat some other things that are animal products. So no, that's not really it. But I don't follow science too much either. I mean, I'm a scientist, but I know that science tries to know everything, but we don't know everything. So I also go after my intuition and my feeling, how I feel personally in my body. So I trust that better than any scientific study.
Well, and there's been a scientific study of all the vegetables that they're good for you, so I mean,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not if they're raw, but
Yeah,
it should be the same difference, right?
pretty much. But you find studies also that say that dairy is good for you. So
Well, sure.
it's always, it depends who's paying for it, really.
So how many calories in a day do you think you eat then?
I tracked it, and you can track it too. If you, I really like this app Chronometer. Chronometer.com. You can use it on your phone as an app or at the web, in the web,
But what's that for?
to track your nutrition and
No, I
your
was
calories.
asking how many calories do you get a day?
And I tracked it with it, and I get around 2,000.
Okay.
Usually. Yeah, I get a lot of calories with that. So, for example, one banana has 100 calories. And imagine I only have bananas as my first meal. I will eat 10 bananas. If I only have bananas.
And
Yeah. 7 or like around 10. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. But around 10 bananas if I only have bananas. But usually I don't only have bananas. I have something else. But just as an idea. So that will have 1,000 calories as my first meal. And then the second meal will have all the vegetables, avocado, some nuts and seeds. So at least I have 800 with that. Or I will eat some more sweet fruits like a date. Or some kind of dessert, like a little bit more fruits then. That's how I eat it. But nuts and seeds have lots of calories. Avocado, I think one avocado is 200 something maybe. 200
Depends on how
calories.
big they are, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I did count my nutrition for a while, and I mean, I would encourage you to do it too, so you can
Just to get a
kind of
baseline,
see it.
yeah.
But I stopped doing it because it was pretty fine. And if you undereat one day, it's not a big deal. You just maybe overeat the other day. Sometimes I even had like almost 3,000 calories because I ate a little bit too much of my homemade almond fudge or something. I made something that has a lot of seeds in it or nuts. So I ate a little bit too much of that, so it was a little bit high.
Oh,
But
that
it
sounds
doesn't really
nice.
matter.
The almond fudge sounds nice.
Yeah, so overall, over a week, the trend is kind of like I have 1,800 calories or 2,000 around that. So that's pretty fine for me. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Thank you.
Could I
thank you
try
so
your
much. If you
rice
have
bowl?
more questions.
Can I try some?
Yeah. Yeah, you can try it. Oh, I tried for you actually too. I gotta try it for you.
Just gotta make sure the cook's always gotta try it first, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Actually, that's fine. Also, for all the people that can't eat anything, gonna watch me eating, right?
It's all raw, right? I just started raw today. I didn't have a bite.
It is, yeah.
It just looks so good.
It doesn't have any seeds.
I have to avoid the avocado though. Well, that's raw too.
It tastes pretty good. Yeah, I like it really much.
I did pop in the studio today.
It does taste like a sushi, yeah.
Would you ever
Okay, I
add,
just wondering.
That might be a little bit loud.
Would you ever add a few raisins?
Sometimes it's better.
Yeah, sometimes I
raisins
raise it for the
curds. I
salad.
think I would prefer
Oh, okay.
curds.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you might be having someone else do it. Yeah, it is a little hard to have a cold.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
It does taste actually
Well,
really
I
good.
hope you're getting some good
That's
stuff.
the oldest brand.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh yeah, we're throwing those for you, 2.5.
Especially with the nori sheets and then the cucumber and the avocado and
And I
then
just decided to
the green
start-
onions. It's like a sushi flavor kind of thing.
I was on juice.
And then the ginger a little bit and the lime juice
I was
comes.
just, my.
It goes,
everything was just like.
yeah.
I couldn't even make
It's
myself
really
drink the juice.
pretty good for me.
Yeah.
And I hit a wall. It's like I had reflexology already.
What
I had
did you
2
put
days
in
of
yours?
a lot of nausea and everything.
Yeah.
And then
I put some